when I made my cockpit, I made this column and I made this column. And after making the whole thing at the top, I had two holes that I was thinking on putting like pipes or cables or something. But then I decided to put lighting in, and it was very difficult to find the light that fit in that hole. I didn't want to patch it up again and just put a light fixture, so I have 3D printers. And I thought, even though I print stuff for fun in my 3D printers, like a hobby, just fun stuff, toys and whatnot, I can use the 3D printer as a tool, because that's what it is. It's part of my arsenal of tools that I have in my shop. So I went to Fusion 360 and designed these lamps that fit directly into there, but also can be surface mounted and used in other ways. So let's see the process of making these lamps and installing them in my Star Wars room. So I had a lot of problems with this filament. It kept falling on me, getting stuck and stuff. It was not rolled correctly. But what I did was I measured when it stopped, and then I printed the rest, so I won't lose these pieces. The same thing happened here. Just kind of got stuck, tangled up. It was a bad tangled roll, and I printed the rest. So now I got to glue them together and put these together so I can fit them into the hole. I am also doing this because you really won't see this. It's just the part where it's going to hold the lights. So this will be inside the cabinet, so we really won't see where they go. But if you're going to do it like surface mount, we'll have to somehow print it correctly. So after this is a bit dry, just to hold it together, I'm going to use this. I got this new like soldering kind of bit. It's the one with the staples to secure the pieces together. I got this on Temu, and I'm just going to try it out, see how it goes. Now these are the four parts that form the front of the light fixture. So we're going to put these together. So I'm going to use some CA glue to glue them together, and maybe these I'll put some soldering points on the back just to help it be a bit stronger. So now I'm going to use some UV resin to just cover some of these imperfections of the printing process. There's nothing much we can do. And also give it some texture so it looks like it's been there for a while, and just make it interesting. So these diffusion works pretty good, but I'm still going to sand them down a little bit, maybe get rid of some of those layer lines and help it diffuse a bit more. So now what I'm going to do is have these LEDs. These are used. I had taken them off. I don't remember from where, but they do work. We can test them. They're 12 volt, but they do work with a 9 volt battery. So we can test them here. They'll be brighter with the 12 volts. And I have the power supply somewhere. So what I'm going to do is try to put them all inside here and have this portion stick out through the hole in the bottom, so I can then connect the other one directly to this one, all on the same power strip with an extended piece of cable. So now let's just try and just wrap this whole thing in here. I'm going to use some of this 3M plastic emblem adhesive. I've used this before. I'm going to put it on here, put some on the strip, and just glue it on there. Whatever is kind of loose, it's not going to be perfect, but whatever is kind of loose, I'll use maybe some hot glue or some super glue, and just to hold them together. So this is kind of what it looks like. It's connected to the power supply. I put it all in there, connected it to the power supply here, and have an extra extended cable that's going to connect to the other lamp on the other side. Let's just kind of temporarily put this on here. And connect it and turn it on. There it is. That's kind of what it's going to look like. Can't really see how bright it is, so let me turn off the light to see how bright it is. There you go. Now you see how bright. It's not extremely bright. I'm creating shadows passing behind it. It's not extremely bright, but it's bright enough to do what I want. This is what we have. So all that's left after this, I'm going to put some thin EVA foam to help me just breach the gap in between the lamp and this piece. So when we screw these in, there's no space in the middle. Okay, so we have this all dried and stuck together. Now we're going to put the diffusion on top. Since it's so tight, when we put it up, I don't want it to fall. I'm going to glue it with a little bit of hot glue, but first I'm going to put some black tape to hold it in place. And then I'm going to put a couple of small dots of hot glue so it'll be easier to remove if I need to. And I'm using black hot glue because that's what I have right here now. It's like a little spot there. Hold it down, a little spot there. So as I said, 3D printers are fun for hobbies and whatnot, but it's a very, very good tool like CNCs or laser cutters. So if you have it, why not use it as a tool? Maybe learn the basics, because I'm not really an expert in Fusion 360, but I've been learning little by little, and I tackle this with the little bit of knowledge that I have. So that's the way we can use our 3D printers as tools. It's like any other tool, as a drill, a hammer, or whatever we can have in our arsenal. So I encourage you, if you do have a 3D printer, just try and learn the basics, because like I said, I am not an expert at all in Fusion 360. I have a long way to go, and I will continue to learn. And with basic knowledge of how this software works, I was able to do this and do a lot more that you will keep on seeing in my channel. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank you for being here in the Ottawa Workshop, and see you next time when we make something out of this world.